All right, we're back to the Performance Matrix. Today we're going over center of mass management. This is your glue day. This is how we take your skills or the actual physical attributes of acceleration and initial force generation and put them together into something that's actually going to be able to manifest on the court or the field. So the biggest misconception just in general of center of mass management is hoops, hurdles, ladders, right? Everybody you see on Instagram and what you see on a normal field is kids doing agility ladders left and right. The problem is with those is that you're not experiencing high forces. In this picture of Michael Jordan right here, he's experiencing high forces. He's driving into this position. And Michael Jordan didn't stretch his way to a good crossover. He played his way into it, experiencing high forces over and over and over again until he could get far out of frame right to be able to change direction back left. And this is important because agility ladders and cones in general do not teach you how to pace or place your base of support, which is in this position in this picture, Michael Jordan's right foot outside of frame in a mechanically advantageous position to change direction back left. So when you're thinking about changing direction and agility in general, you need to be thinking forces. You need to be thinking reactive strength. And reactive strength is your ability to use the ground as a weapon or have a healthy relationship with the ground. Every single sports team that you played on throughout your life, from youth to college to professional even, you'll see guys that get stuck in the ground more than others, that have poor reactive strength, that they touch the ground and it's like they're just stuck in quicksand. And then you have other guys who look like they just bounce and float over the ground, right? And that's reactive strength. These high-level athletes are good reactive strength and center of mass managers. And this is a skill that's built through high forces. If I were to take acceleration and initial force generation and we get better at those, your center of mass management will be built as well because you're gaining or you're doing more force-based work. So now when you go to change direction, you have the forces available or you have the qualities available to take on more forces and then change direction. So this is a big one, and the way that we do this here is a lot of lateral bounding, a lot of vertical leaping, a lot of depth drops, a lot of single leg work, and we're teaching the athlete, again, force in equals force out. The more force in you can put, the more force out you can, manage. And a great way to play faster is just to simply stop faster. The way to equalize out a playing field, if you're playing against somebody who's faster than you, the only way to do that is to be able to stop faster. And if you are going to stop faster than somebody who is faster than you need to put more force into the ground into the opposite direction and manage that better. So that's a huge staple for us, and it's not going to happen when you do hoops and hurdles. I cannot stress that enough because you're not going through the stimulus that you would be on a field. If you're on a field, you're reactive, or a court, you're reactive. Right? You're not doing a rehearsed drill of 2 feet in, 2 feet out, 2 feet in, 2 feet out, Iggy shuffle left, Iggy shuffle right. You're far out of frame right, back left, far out of frame left, back right. You think about a football or a wide receiver, a release, or in basketball, a crossover, or a running back making a move. All of these things are reactive. You need to be able to very quickly load your mass into the ground and then change direction wherever you want to go. So playing out of frame is a byproduct of that reactive strength. It's not just being more flexible. A lot of people think that, I'm just going to get very flexible and I'm going to do ladder drills and all of a sudden it's going to all click and I'm going to be a pro athlete when I run routes or when I'm on the field or court. And it's just 100% not true. It never ends up like that. If you have a 25-inch vertical leap, how the heck do you expect to get on the field and be able to output high forces if you did a ladder for 10 years? Like, yeah, your feet might be fast. You might got really fast feet, but you don't have the force to actually be able to stop yourself fast. If I'm 180 pounds, and I'm 180 pounds and I vertical leap 30 inches versus 180 pounds and 40 inches, I have more stopping forces at 40 inches than I do at 30 inches. That is going to be the king. That's your ceiling. That's your overall kind of indicator of how well you can actually move and change direction is that force that you can put into the ground. Now, center of mass management here is just the focus of getting better at being out of frame, right? So working on getting your base of support or your foot out of frame relative to your center of mass. And learning how to do that is going to happen in lateral bounds. Like I said before, that's the best and most ultimate way to do it is lateral bounds. But it's also going to be specific plyometrics that are going to work on high forces and very quickly getting in and out of steps. But that's the main thing for center of mass management. You see it all the time in sports, and everybody wonders how you do it. It's not going to be cone drills. It's not going to be bag drills. That's not going to give you the most bang for your buck. Now, if you eventually, once you're at the point where you have the general physical preparedness, meaning you can jump high and you can run fast and you can move and you can experience high forces and you have a good calf complex, well, then, yeah, you can do a little rehearsal type of drill, like up and over bags that are more sports specific. But starting with sports specific when you don't have the general physical qualities is stupid, right? You're starting with the lowest ceiling or like a 1-floor house when you could have built up a 3-floor house and you could have had much more room in it to build out your skill tree. Okay, so building out that general physical preparedness first through that vertical leap and acceleration, and then working into a bit more of a specific general day for center of mass management is the best way to do it. Because again, if you can't stop fast, you cannot play fast. So you need to be able to stop and you need to be able to create opposite forces.